What's up, guys? NASCAR's finally ready to come back in about 2 weeks, May 17th. I can't wait. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about that and a couple of other things. But just to go through the basics real quick, they're planning a pretty condensed schedule. Let's see, kicking off a packed 2 week schedule. All right, Darlington, right? There's going to be a cup race, then an Xfinity race, and then another cup race. So they're kind of putting the both races that were spread out through the season. They're just going to run them together. They're already there, and they don't want to like chop off races from the schedule. They want to try to keep as many races in as possible. So they're already there. They might as well run them. This isn't going to affect tickets or crowds because there aren't going to be any. So this is great for teams. They don't have to travel. So you got Cup, Xfinity, and the second Cup race from May 17th to the 20th, and then Charlotte, 4 races. The Cup, the 600-mile race on the 24th, then an Xfinity race on the 25th, on the truck race on the 26th, and then on the 27th, the second Cup race, the 500-mile race. So you're looking at a stretch of 10 days and 7 races. So, there's going to be a lot there. I've talked about how important it is for NASCAR to get back on TV as soon as possible. There's nothing else on. I think they're going to hit really, really good numbers in terms of ratings. People are going to tune in because they're bored. There's nothing to watch. And this, really, this is a golden opportunity for NASCAR. It's also really important that whether it's Fox or NBC or whoever covers the events, that the broadcast is geared towards uh, new viewers. Having things that kind of explain things and educate viewers on the sport, what happens, what these guys are doing in the pits, what the handling characteristics of the cars are, what adjustments that the crew chief uh, is making to help the driver. Things that I know is going to annoy people who are already fans of the sport and understand it. It is a little annoying. I mean, we know what loose and tight is, and a lot of these adjustments, what they do. But I think, new viewers, it's really important that they get to see what that really means, get some education on it. And I'm not talking about like some boring presentation, but something cool, like when they show diagrams of the car and they can show you animation of what the track bar does and how it affects the car, and really get into those things in a way that maybe we haven't seen in a while. Uh, you're going to get this opportunity to get people to watch who normally wouldn't watch. So the idea is, how do we keep these people around? You're not going to keep them all around. A lot of these folks, they'll probably won't stick around, and when things start getting back to normal, they'll go back to watching the things they normally watch. But you don't need all of them. You just need to grab a few of them, percentage wise. It's going to help NASCAR in the long run. This is all about the long term. Yeah, I do really believe that ratings are going to be really, really good early on. But this is about how to expand and grow the sport in terms of uh, marketing to fans, and getting more people to come in and be more inclusive. And I think that this is something that may have pay off way down the line, right? So you're not going to see this magic return to the way things were 15 years ago, maybe, and where NASCAR was like boom, it was like up there with anything. It's not gonna that's not gonna happen overnight. But this opportunity is, I'm really looking forward to seeing how things play out. The schedule is another thing that I really think NASCAR is going to have an opportunity to see how it plays out. They're going to try some different things. Obviously, this kind of scheduling isn't a thing that's going to work long term. It's a necessity for now, but it's a great time to test out running night races in the middle, maybe in the middle of the week, prime time type of stuff. I think would really work well. I think that this running mostly just on Sunday afternoons, I know that there's people who don't like change. They're traditionalists. They just don't want to see that's NASCAR, don't change. That's the reality is I think running mostly just on Sundays, Sunday afternoons hurts NASCAR, especially once the NFL season kicks in, which is pretty much during NASCAR's end stretch into the playoffs and all that stuff. So you don't want to compete against the NFL. You're going to lose. And I think that's one of the things that's helped hurt NASCAR. The NFL is a juggernaut. Let them have their Sundays, right? I'm not saying get rid of all Sunday races, especially early in the season when the NFL's not around. Yeah, you could run Sundays and stuff like that, but I really would prefer, middle of the week races or Saturdays, right? Saturday nights, whatever. Uh, and it will hurt, like getting people to come out to watch these races live in the future if you want to do like middle of the week races because people have to work. It's a big process, traveling, all this stuff. It's not like other sports where you go to a ball game. It's a 1 day thing, not even a day thing. Like you could just go, show up, watch the game, and go home. NASCAR events are multiple day events because of the traveling and all the other things involved. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Um, but definitely Saturday nights, to me, would be the best time, like to run these races. I know you can't have night races at all these tracks. There are things NASCAR and these other owners of these tracks are going to have to start considering for the future. Just keeping these races 90% Sunday afternoons, it actually hurts the sport. I really believe that. You don't want to compete against the NFL, especially if you want to expand and get more people. So I'm really looking forward to all this. Um, Before I close out, there's another thing I want to talk about. I know I've been critical of online racing and this iRacing stuff that's being broadcast on TV and stuff. Um, I don't hate it. There's a lot of it that I think my biggest criticism is they've been taking it way too serious and making it more than what it is. But I just saw a highlight reel from Fox Sports, which I will put in the description box. Please go check it out if you haven't. It's an IROC event, and it includes NASCAR races and other races from open wheel racing and all that stuff. It is the most entertaining piece of iRacing footage I've ever seen. If there's something I can honestly support and watch, that's it. You got to go watch this. Everything about this 8 minutes of highlights is everything that works. And it works because nobody took it serious, right? They broadcast it like a real race and all that, but everybody was having fun. They weren't trying to make it sound like something more than what it really is, like we've seen earlier. Uh, and let me tell you something. Jeff Gordon has really grown on me as a broadcaster. He is really good. He's a natural. And the one bright shining light of the whole iRacing thing since this started is Clint Boyer. He's grown on me as a personality. He has amazing chemistry with Jeff Gordon. Fox better be I'm sure they are paying attention, but you got to get these guys together in the future. I know Clint Boyer is still a car driver and all that stuff, but this combination, and I forgot who the third guy was. I'm sorry to say, but he was also good. This combination, go watch this clip. I'm putting it in the description box. It is funny. I laughed so hard throughout the whole thing. Yeah, there were glitches and all kinds of stuff happening because it's online racing. It happens. It's natural, but they rolled with it, right? It actually added to the broadcast. It was the best of what you could hope for from this type of event. Uh, those guys are great. They got chemistry. I also really like, I think the NBC has Jeff Burton and Dale Jr. They're really good and they got good chemistry. I really like that combination as well. So both NBC and Fox. Well, Fox, this isn't really official, right? Because once they go back to normal stuff, Boyer's gonna be driving and stuff. But I'm thinking down the line, right? Maybe 1 or 2 years down the line, whatever it is. I hope this is what we get for every broadcast. These guys are amazing together, and go check it out. And I laughed so hard throughout the whole thing. Uh, Cars were glitching, disappearing, popping up. Uh, the whole thing was, and they're so natural together. And like I said, keep in mind they weren't taking this stuff serious. And even the people participating, racing, they were having a good time. Uh, it was funny. It was Nobody was taking it too serious, and that is where this shines. So those are my thoughts. I'm excited. Are you excited? Let me know what you think about what I was saying about the schedule and the broadcasting and stuff. And do you feel like I do that this golden opportunity is going to be huge for NASCAR if they do things, the right way, which includes, like I said, having broadcasts that are a little more geared towards new viewers, right? Which will bring along some, repetitiveness for people like you and I, but this is really for what's best for the sport to attract people, get them engaged, and it's not going to be fun for people if they don't know what's going on. So I think it's really important that Fox, NBC, whoever, also ESPN is going to have to cover some of this, um, which I'm hoping for, which will also get other people who maybe are just watching ESPN to pay attention. And they're like, oh, NASCAR racing, and they'll watch some highlights and let these guys cover and talk about it. I'm sick and tired of hearing about LeBron James, Tom Brady, and for the past 3 fucking weeks, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. That's all these people talk about 24/7. I'm tired of it. So it'd be a nice change of pace. They're going to be forced to talk about this stuff because there's not really anything else going on. And I look forward to seeing what they do with it. I don't expect them to spend all day on it like they do with, like I said, Tom Brady, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan, but at least dedicate some time to talking about these races, especially like the next day. They'll cover, show highlights. And I think this will also help get people who normally don't follow NASCAR to be like, oh shit, that looks cool. Wow, that they had that race last night. When's the next race? I'll check it out. There's nothing else on. Golden opportunity. I am really excited to see how this turns out, um, with the ratings, with how this whole thing plays out. And like I said, I'm not saying this is going to overnight get NASCAR back to where it was like 15 years ago. That's not going to happen. I'm talking about down the line. Some of these people, I do believe, will stick around, will be more likely to watch in the future when things are back to normal. even when there are other options to watch other things. You're going to win some of these people over. You don't have to win all of them. And I think that for every 10 people, if you can get two, just two, to kind of get hooked, that's a win. So those are my thoughts. I look forward to your comments. Let me know what you think.